Hey, what's up, everybody? Been a while. So, got back from vacation. We've been to Gulf Shores, the beach and the sand and all that fun stuff. So, we're back now, working on Dad's guitar a little bit here and there. Let me show you kind of what I've done. We're out here on this project for Dad's guitar, and I started working on it. And I said, you know what? This would be a good point to stop and maybe do a little filming. So, I got this old orbital sander here with some 220 on it. So, we're worried about getting down deep to the grain, and saying nothing a little 220 can't take care of. So we sanding it down. It's some test spots where I was trying to test to see what does the best. I think what's going to happen is once I get this down here to this red grain, so there's nothing filling the grain. The only thing filling this grain is dye. So what I'm going to do is get it down here, and I'm going to use some grain filler, and I'm going to fill all these grains in and see if it covers up all this red. Because what I'm trying to do is the natural back like mine. So I started whittling down here on this too. See that kind of hollow spot? I'll probably have to fill in some wood right there. But I'm just trying to get this all back to, that was a bunch of hammer spots where we tried to hammer it off. So I'm just trying to smooth that back down. And then we're gonna smooth this around right here. And I learned this from, I think, Big D's guitars. I'm gonna do a little indentation right here, kind of shave this down a little bit. Maybe this one you can see to where it'll give the glue a place to go when you're pushing it in there. And I'm just going to get all this back down to bare wood, nice and smooth, and then we're going to just sand all the rest of this off. You can see I sanded a little bit on the like that's not sanded and that is sanded. So I'm going to sand this binding off too. I'm gonna get that smoothed out. Now I have to get like a razor blade and get some of this nasty off right here. So anyway, so we're gonna get this sucker slicked up. All right, so we ran into the first hurdle here. So I kind of started working on it before I remember to film, but it's kind of was like dug out right here. So when I was trying to fit the veneer onto the situation here, it was, well, dang, almost got it fixed. Anyway, you can see there's a gap. I don't know if you see daylight through it, but there was a gap there. So what I'm trying to do is, since we have a little space to play with, took a little rasp, and I'm going to flatten this down and see if I can get this veneer to lay back flat on here, and we'll see what happens. All right, so after whittling on it for a while, all right, so I got that pretty flat. It could be a little flatter, so that's fine. You can see a little bow in this, so I'm gonna have to go get my other sander to make this more flat. This side is pretty flat. So I gotta get that evened out to where the veneer will lay on it good. But it's pretty much getting pretty close. I rounded that off nicely, so it's nice and rounded. I gotta I'm gonna try and do a grain fill. I mean, we got most of it out. So do a little, I think a little grain fill, probably fill those up. I gotta work on that a little bit more better. I'm probably gonna cut this out a little bit more anyway. It's kind of a wide notch, so I'm a little tighter than that. So I might just totally recut that. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, so almost back to the stewmac original. All right, skipped all the boring stuff and went straight to me clamping this up. So this was a bunch of work to get to this stage. What had happened was, I don't know how, but this bottom part I showed y'all in another video was down here, was kind of scooped out. So what happened was I had to sand that flat. And when I did that, it made the whole thing like this instead of flat. It made it like this. It was kind of wompy jaw. So I had to sand until I get it back down. It was about 1 millimeter off on this side, on the far side, right here. And then it was 12 millimeters here, 13 millimeters here. I think that's what it was. So I had to sand down to get back to 12 flat all the way across. So now I sanded all the back where that scarf joint was, I sanded that down like I did mine, because I'm gonna do a white stinger on this one. And it actually helps when you go to glue this thing. So we got some, I was worried about the joints, but we got, the only thing I don't like is right here. I'm getting picky though. I can zoom in. We have like maybe like a, I don't know, maybe put a business card down there, but I'm gonna fill that up with stuff anyway. But we're not gonna have any gaps down here. That's what I was worried about. So that should tighten up right there. So anyway, all the way around it's pretty tight looking. So I got the clamps on her. We'll let her sit till tomorrow. And other one I've done has turned out fine. So we'll continue the same process. I used same thing, quick and thick, multi-surface. So about the time you get this sucker clamped, it's thick. So we're gonna leave her sitting here, let her do her thing, and check her out tomorrow. Probably when I get home from work, I'll just let it sit like, well, I don't know, I might unclamp it in the morning. It only needs to be clamped for about an hour, so that's a lot of pressure on there. So I'll probably just take that off in the morning just to relieve the pressure. So anyway, that's it. That's all for tonight. All right, so we've been whittling on this thing for about an hour, and at least an hour, probably 2 hours. So we got our general headstock shape. So we flatten that off the back. So we're gonna do that stinger I was talking about. It's nice clean lines on the edges there. No glue. Got to fill that little gap in right there. Little gap, no big deal. It's pretty decent. I mean, you gotta stare at it. I think I can't really tell. Maybe a little deeper on the right side. I don't know. I mean, really gotta stare at it, and you're not gonna be staring at it that much. None of mine are perfect, so that's close enough. I mean, look, Gibson guitar. Hey, look, okay, Gibson guitar to me. Whatever, open book headstock. Hey, okay. I can't get any better than that. So anyway, so next step, I'm gonna do some some pour filler on here, and fill all these little gaps. See those little gaps? Fill all those in, and then sand it off. And I'm probably gonna try and use some shellac, that shellac spray, to see how that helps fill in any gaps. I don't know, experimentation. All right, let me do this. So I didn't video a lot of this because I've got so much on video. I've got 2 different videos of it. So I went ahead and got the headstock done. Got to drill some holes and do the hole for the truss rod. And I got everything sanded out, all that red that was on it. And I went back and filled the pores. So you can't really see any traces of red. I don't know if it'll zoom in. The only red you can see might be a little trace right in there. But I mean, look how close. I mean, I got the camera a ½ inch from it. So that's how close you have to get to see it. I think once you get the brown all over it, you're not really ever gonna see that. So I got everything sanded down. Even got the red out of that notch right there where that scarf joint is. So gotta drill these out. I'll probably do that in just a minute. And I got a bunch of coats of shellac, that spray shellac on here to flatten it out. And I'm probably gonna put maybe 1 coat of filler primer. Dad said he wanted the stinger to come down to like the 3rd fret. So it's gonna be a deep stinger. So we'll see how that looks. So I'm gonna get that all done and ready. All right, so I've been working on this right now, and what he did was he hammered his in like I did, and you can see the visible cracks. So what I did was I took these guys, hammered them back in here. When I did, it opened the cracks up, and I used some CA glue, the super thin stuff, and I put the CA glue in there. So it appears that it's held them open. So we'll see what happens. I also drilled these holes out a little bit bigger. I still got the wire in there. I have to make sure it's still good, so it makes good ground before we put all the stuff back together. So anyway, so we've got, this is good enough. I think, to put some primer over, or whatever we're gonna do. So we're gonna paint this top white. So he's in charge of getting the off-white color that he wants. Other than that, I have to sand down some of these spots. For the most part, I got a lot of the red out. I'm gonna go back and probably in a little bit and pour fill all this to cover up a lot of that red, because I'm just not gonna keep sanding it and sanding it and sanding it. So I'll probably have to do some hand sanding on this. I'm gonna fill in the hole for the pick guard, that hole right here too. So we'll fill in those because I don't really care for that. If we want to put the pick guard back in there, we'll just drill it back in there again. But I got to get all this red out. So that red is done bled into the cracks in the binding. So that might be kind of difficult. I'll probably use some acetone on a Q-tip or something. Not sure. But that's a crack in the binding right there. So poor thing's been through hell trying to get the neck and everything off. But a lot of this stuff you're not going to see once I finish it up. It's really hard to get the binding out of these little joints. So you can see where the wood's connected with new pieces. It really gets down deep in the joints. But for the most part, I mean, it's mostly off. I mean, it was thick. So I'm going to go back over it some. I might take some acetone or something and start wiping it to see if I can wipe some of that out of there. We'll try that. But, I mean, she's getting close. I mean, if you just hold it back here, it looks like almost from the beginning, like from the factory, like how you get out of a box. But still got a little bit more. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna let this all dry really well, which I think is already dry. I'm gonna put this under a light, and I'm gonna fill up any, I dropped the screwdriver on it right there, my bad. So we're gonna fill up any little imperfections and get all this stuff nice and smoothed out, perfectly smooth, to get ready for primer and then the white paint. So Pops said he wanted a black stinger, so we had to get the ordered a black back plate. It's a little bit big, like my other one that I got from Gibson, from the original. So I decided we'll have to just sand it down a little bit. And he also saw my little name, my little badge that I had on the back of mine for the switch plate cover. So ordered this from China again. Takes a couple, 3 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks to get them in. But it was $21, I think. And I think it looks so good. It fits in his perfectly. So mine was my last one might have been a little thinner than this, I'm not sure. But his fits, I think, better than mine. So I don't think I have to do any extra to it. But he wanted that. So it'd be black back with the black, this and the black stinger, with the white front and the cream. It's gonna have, only thing cream, it's gonna be the poker chip and the surround for the pickups. And that's it. And then the knobs will be that, you know, whatever stewmac sends is, well, actually, it'll be whatever I want to, because I need to buy new knobs because the knobs were broken. So I got a broken knob. So I might get crazy. I might see about ordering some black pickups. I don't know. We'll see. I'll ask him what he wants to do. But anyway, so this is all we're doing tonight. It's hot as balls out here in Louisiana. So in the shop, the temp thing's showing it's like, I don't know, 91. So it's about 91 degrees in here. I just worked out, so trying to get my swole back on here. So we'll see. I've lost about 40 pounds on this Zep bound, so that's a whole nother video. So started about 265. I'm sitting around 225 today. So I want to get about another 20 pounds off. So I don't know if y'all noticed my face is a little slimmer, so we'll see how that works out. But I got to start doing some resistance training. That's what the dietitian I'm in the program told me. So work with that. Try and do a little resistance training, eat more protein, see about losing some more weight. Anyway, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna probably make a little quick video, just kind of keep you guys posted on this. So don't forget, if you like these videos, share them, click the bell for notifications, like and subscribe. If you want to get all the notifications, make sure you go in there and personalize it to where you see everything. I found a guitar also for the giveaway that I've been looking at. It's in China, so we'll see. It looks nice. It looks like just like a Les Paul, except for the headstock's not carved out like I like it. But I've been watching it. I don't know if it's going to sell or not, but I got to bump these subscriber numbers up. So if you want to be in the guitar giveaway, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a guitar. Don't know exactly what it is yet, but it's probably gonna be a Les Paul style.